Hello everyone, I'm Alma. Welcome to our module on advocacy and participation in local participatory development. We'll explore how advocacy and participation empower communities to shape their development. We'll cover political participation, crucial for inclusive and sustainable development. We'll also look at how advocacy amplifies community voices and influences local policy. Whether you're a student or a practitioner, this course offers valuable insights and tools. Let's start this journey together. If you have questions, our AI assistant is here to help. This module introduces the importance of advocacy and participation in local development. We'll discuss community empowerment and collaboration for inclusive, sustainable practices, focusing on political engagement and community empowerment. We'll cover engaging with local governments, policymakers, and stakeholders. Next, we'll provide strategies for advocacy and political engagement. You'll learn tools for effective advocacy, including community organizing, campaigning, lobbying, and media outreach. We'll showcase successful advocacy initiatives in local development, analyzing achievements, challenges, and lessons learned. We'll reflect on key insights, future implications, and discuss sustaining advocacy and maintaining community engagement. Advocacy is the process of influencing decision-makers to address issues. Advocacy drives change by amplifying voices and translating concerns into action. It influences decision-makers to address issues and enact beneficial policies. This involves raising awareness, mobilizing support, and pushing for policy changes. Effective advocacy requires strategic planning, outlining objectives, and navigating pathways to achieve them. It relies on building coalitions and partnerships to amplify impact and leverage resources. Successful advocacy uses targeted communication to engage diverse audiences and drive action. By following these principles, advocates can drive positive change and improve community well-being. Key concepts: influence, exerting influence on decision-makers to affect change. Decision-makers, those with authority to make relevant decisions. Stakeholders, individuals or groups with an interest in the issue. Awareness, raising understanding among stakeholders. Mobilizing support, rallying support to amplify impact. Policy changes, influencing policies to address issues. Strategic planning, planning activities to achieve goals. Coalition building, forming alliances to increase influence. Targeted communication, crafting messages to engage stakeholders. Political engagement involves actively participating in the political process, influencing policy, and shaping governance. It includes more than just voting. It extends to actions like volunteering for campaigns, attending public meetings, joining advocacy groups, and engaging in civic discourse. In participatory development, political engagement empowers communities to assert their rights, articulate their needs, and shape their development. By engaging with local governments, policymakers, and stakeholders, communities become active agents of change. Through dialogue and collective action, they can advocate for policies that address their unique challenges, such as improving access to services, protecting resources, or promoting social inclusion. Political engagement democratizes decision-making, fosters transparency, accountability, and responsiveness in governance, and advances community well-being and aspirations. Key terms for political engagement: political process, activities and mechanisms for making political decisions, including elections and policymaking. Voting, expressing a choice in an election or referendum. Campaigning, efforts to promote a candidate, party, or policy. Lobbying, advocacy to influence government decisions or policies. Community empowerment, enabling communities to control their own development. Stakeholders, individuals or groups with an interest in an issue or decision. Advocacy, influencing decision-makers to address specific issues. Dialogue, communication between stakeholders to foster understanding and resolve conflicts. Accountability, the obligation to take responsibility for actions and decisions. Advocacy and political engagement rely on strategic approaches to drive change and amplify community voices. We explore key strategies for effective advocacy. Community organizing mobilizes individuals around shared concerns, fostering solidarity and collective action. Stakeholder mapping identifies key decision-makers, allies and opponents, informing targeted engagement strategies. Campaigning allows advocates to craft messages, raise awareness, and garner support for policy changes. Lobbying directly engages policymakers through meetings, letters, and petitions to convey concerns and recommendations. Media outreach uses traditional and social media channels to disseminate messages and engage a broader audience. Capacity building empowers community members with the knowledge and skills needed to advocate effectively. Grassroots mobilization harnesses community power to drive social change, fostering inclusive and sustainable advocacy movements. These strategies form a toolkit for advocates navigating advocacy and political engagement, driving dialogue, policy change, and the common good. A successful example of advocacy in local participatory development is the community-led Total Sanitation Initiative in a rural village in India. The community addressed the lack of sanitation facilities, improving health and well-being. Achievements. Mobilization. Residents prioritized sanitation through grassroots efforts. Planning. The community partnered with NGOs and local authorities for a tailored sanitation plan. Infrastructure. Government and community funds built toilets in homes and public areas. Behavior change. Hygiene education promoted proper sanitation practices. Challenges. Cultural norms. Overcoming stigma around sanitation required community engagement. Resource constraints. Limited funds and competing priorities made implementation difficult. Sustainability. Long-term success needed ongoing community ownership and monitoring. Lessons learned. Community ownership. Empowering communities ensures sustainability and resilience. Collaboration. Working with NGOs and government agencies leverages resources and support. Behavior change. Education alongside infrastructure is key for lasting change. Overall, the community-led Total Sanitation Initiative shows the power of advocacy and participatory development in addressing community needs and improving quality of life. It highlights the importance of community engagement, collaboration, and behavior change in sustainable development. We will continue exploring case studies showing how advocacy affects local development, influencing policies, empowering communities, and fostering change. Case Study 1. Water Rights Advocacy in Rural Communities. This case study examines a grassroots advocacy campaign by rural communities in a developing country to secure clean water and sanitation. Through community mobilization, awareness raising, and lobbying, residents advocated for government-funded water projects. The study analyzes strategies, challenges, and the campaign's impact on water access and quality of life. Case Study 2. Youth Advocacy for Education Reform. This case study examines a youth-led advocacy initiative for education reform in a marginalized urban community. Young activists organized rallies, conducted surveys, and engaged with policymakers to raise awareness about quality education and the need for more government investment in school infrastructure and teacher training. The study looks at youth empowerment in advocacy, challenges faced, and outcomes in promoting educational equity and access. Case Study 3. Environmental Advocacy for Sustainable Development. This study examines an environmental campaign promoting sustainable practices in a coastal community facing degradation and climate change. Through community initiatives, partnerships with environmental groups, and local government engagement, residents advocated for policies to mitigate risks, conserve resources, and build climate resilience. The study analyzes the advocacy strategies, collaborative approach, and broader implications for sustainable development and environmental justice. These case studies show how advocacy drives positive change in local development, highlighting strategies, challenges, and impacts on empowering communities and advancing social justice. Effective advocacy relies on building sustainable partnerships with diverse stakeholders to amplify impact and drive meaningful change. In this section, we will delve into the importance of partnerships in advocacy and local participatory development. Sustainable partnerships involve collaboration with local communities, civil society organizations, government agencies, academia, and private sector partners. They require shared goals, mutual accountability, capacity building, and continuous engagement. Case Study. Community NGO Government Partnership for Health Advocacy. A rural community partnership for health advocacy shows how community members, NGOs, and government officials collaborated to improve healthcare services. It examines their roles, challenges, and outcomes. Sustainable partnerships amplify advocacy impact, enhance resilience, and ensure long-term success. In conclusion, sustainable partnerships are crucial for effective advocacy and local participatory development. They drive inclusive and sustainable change, empowering communities and advancing social justice agendas. Professionals can enhance their advocacy skills in local participatory development by employing various strategies. Continuous learning through workshops, seminars, and training programs is crucial for advocacy skills. Seeking mentorship from experienced advocates provides valuable insights. Building networks with communities, civil society organizations, and stakeholders amplifies efforts and resources. Trust and meaningful relationships with community members are essential, valuing their perspectives and expertise. Using innovative communication tools can broaden advocacy reach and mobilize support. Commitment to inclusivity, equity, and social justice is critical, centering marginalized voices and advocating for systemic change. Congratulations! You have now finished the 8th module of Collaborative Futures course. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. You can now move towards the next chapters exploring more aspects related to local participatory development. Thanks again for enrolling. See you soon.